I'm actually a little late with this video. We're nearly a week into May, but I wrote March's one and didn't do that one. So there was absolutely no way that I wasn't going to release what I watched in April. April was a relatively quiet month for watches, and it started off extremely slowly. So whoopsies, I guess. Everything I picked up on Blu-ray will be at the end. I didn't want to make two different videos. It just seemed a bit much just to do what I picked up in April and what I watched in April. I just whack them all together. So I'm going to combine March and April as well, because April wasn't exactly the best of months for Blu-ray pickups. But let's waste no more time. Here's what I watched in April. Yeah, great start to the month, I guess. Minecraft movie follows Garrett the Garbage Man Garrison, Henry, Natalie, and Dawn, who are transported through a portal into the overworld, leaving their real lives behind, in which there are plenty of problems for them around them. In the overworld, they meet Steve. Together, they embark on adventures in which they must protect the overworld for a zombie piglin army who wish to take over, and they'll need to stop them in order to get back home. It's really simple. The story is basically this. Nothing much more to it, which, to be honest, I don't think you can expect from a film like this. But what I did expect was a lot more creativity and inventiveness here. They do talk a lot about being creative, especially with Henry, yet everything they build is super basic, and I wanted to see a lot more. And I thought we spent too much time in the real world compared to the Minecraft world. Like, give me more Minecraft, man. It's called the Minecraft movie. Jack Black was super annoying to the point where I genuinely did not want to see the main character Steve on screen, and instead wanted to see more of the super fun and entertaining performance of Jason Momoa. This film looked visually great. Well, the animation did. When it's combined with live action, wasn't as great. This can be entertaining, but it's not good at all. 2 stars. Yep. Fucking again. My mates invited me along to this second screening, and I just thought, why the hell not? Like, why the hell not check this out again? Everything I just said in the review just a second ago and in my review ages ago at the beginning of April still holds up in the second watch, but this screening was a lot more entertaining. There is, of course, a line with behavior in cinemas, and I've seen so many videos online which they go so far above the line, it's unreal. Like, they are genuinely taking the piss with how they're behaving. But I think in my screening, they were respectable about it. They were cheering and clapping for the memes, but they weren't too loud. I thought they were quite respectable about it. There wasn't any mess, no popcorn thrown about whatsoever. They were just there for, I think they were there for the memes, but they weren't nowhere near as bad what I saw online. I'd understand if people didn't like the cheering and clapping. I think I found it more entertaining, probably because I'd seen the film already. Had this been my first watch, I could have been a little bit more annoyed. I don't think I would have been, but I never know. I never know. But it made for a very entertaining second screening for me, and it's probably the best atmosphere I've been in a cinema screening since Spider-Man No Way Home, which is absolutely crazy to me. I did not think I'd be saying that about Minecraft. Still 2 stars though. Damn, I wanted In Time to be so good. Like, I really did. I'd seen clips of it on TikTok and I just thought, well, I've practically seen this already. So let me might as well check it out. And it's such an intriguing premise. To me, in this world, people don't age past the age of 25. Then a clock begins to appear, which is like a countdown to their death. But in this universe, time is their currency. So the rich have a much longer lifespan than the poor, and you pay with the years on your life expectancy. Whilst this happened, Will gets accused of a murder and is on the run from the timekeepers, which are sort of like a police force. I love science fiction like this, and anything to do with time, I'm so in. So it is a little shocking that I hadn't seen this before. So the fact this is kind of ours is really annoying to me. How original this is sort of wears off as the runtime carries on. It becomes such a generic mess where it left me really disappointed. Like, if it began as a generic sci-fi, then I guess it isn't too much of an issue because you're expecting it, but it's not great. But it's not great in this case. They focus on the wealthy gatekeeping the time, so gatekeeping the money, but it was just pulled off in such an uninteresting way that I just didn't really care. Justin Timberlake and Amanda Seyfried were okay, I guess, but they weren't really given much to work with at all. Like, they really took time equals money to the next level here. It's just a shame people in 2011 would have invested both. 2.5 stars. The next film was The Amateur, starring Rami Malek, and it had a very stacked cast. Rami Malek, Katrina Balfe, Rachel Brosnahan, Lawrence Fishburne is ultimately what tied me into this. The premise was extremely interesting. Charlie, who works for the CIA, loses his wife to a terrorist attack whilst away in London, and growing frustrations with how his bosses deal with it, Charlie then takes matters into his own hands and wants to kill the people who killed his wife himself. Now, I really felt the emotion here in this film. Rami Malek's great performance and the fact that we see Rachel Brosnahan's Sarah really contributed to why. I really like that Sarah wasn't just a plot device. We see her enough to care, and Charlie speaks about how he wants them to see that Sarah mattered. I just didn't think that this was thrilling, though. I mean, there were some great scenes. The pool scene was really something, but for a lot of it, I just didn't really care that much. A lot of it is Charlie outsmarting everyone in the film, and I get it, he's a smart boy, but it's not entirely believable. Neither is the fact that they keep on saying that Charlie's not a killer who uses guns, because a lot of the stuff he does in this film is so much worse than that. I did want a lot more from this. I just found it fine. 3 stars. This was just fucking weird, team. The Dead Don't Die follows a quiet town in which the dead rise as the undead due to polar fracking affecting the Earth's rotation, in which the residents and police officers try to survive the zombie apocalypse. I think I'm going to be truly honest, I don't think I understood this film. I enjoyed bits of what I was watching, but just nowhere near enough. I was mainly bored, I can't lie. I expected a lot more from this, especially with the cast. Like, you got Bill Murray, Adam Driver, Selena Gomez, Austin Butler. I'm pretty sure I'm missing off a few because I didn't actually write them down, but you get the gist. It's a good cast. But I mean, I think it's a horror comedy which is supposed to be satirical. Like, I can tell they were taking the piss, but barely any of it was actually funny. I just found it a bit awkward and I was ready to switch it off. I took the gamble watching this because I didn't really know if I was going to like it, but I saw it and just went, fine, let's watch it. So it was a mistake there. 2.5 stars. I missed Transformers 1 when it came out into the cinema, and I was absolutely gutted. I had people left, right and centre telling me to check this out, and I just wasn't able to. Things kept on getting in the way. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't like the Transformers franchise. I only really liked the first film. I think the rest are absolute dog shite, and they were just getting worse and worse as they went on. I mean, I haven't seen The Last Knight and Rise of the Beasts, so they could be better than Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, Age of Extinction. I doubt it, but they might be, because I haven't seen them, so I'm just going to say they could be. Transformers 1 is like a prequel to this franchise, an origin story on how Optimus and Megatron became enemies because they were once the best of friends. This was an unexpected surprise for me. I mean, like I said earlier, people had told me this was good, but I just didn't expect an animated Transformers film to be this well received and for me to like this much when I don't like the franchise in the first place. There's a great mix of a lot of stuff. The action, humor, engaging story, animation looked great. The voice cast were really good. Normally when a animated film has a cast where they just go for all celebrities, you think, like, you do get a little bit worried, but I think all of them did a great job in this. I really like that this film is animated. I don't have a clue if they were thinking about live action or not, so maybe it was always going to be animated. I don't truly know, but I think it really added to something this, and they were able to be really inventive with it. So 4 stars. I don't actually rewatch films too much, so why I chose to rewatch the Super Mario Bros. Movie, I have no clue. I was sitting on Netflix trying to figure out what to watch, and this came up, and I just thought, fuck it, why not? Mario Bros, here we go. This follows Mario and Luigi, who both get sucked through a portal into the Mushroom Kingdom. And Mario finds he needs the help of Princess Peach, Donkey Kong, and Toad to help save Luigi from Bowser. I saw this when it came out 2 years ago, and I thought it was fine. I had a bit of enjoyment with it, but the second time round, I enjoyed this so much more, and I genuinely can't figure out why. Maybe because I've sat on it for ages and could fully like just take in everything now, but I did just find so much more enjoyment. And other than that, I really don't know why I enjoyed this more on round two. The animation is really nice. Illumination and Nintendo did a real great job of making this look authentic and much like the games. I just found this super fun, and I'm so glad for some reason I decided to rewatch it. 3.5 stars. I originally watched this as a spur of the moment thing because I wasn't entirely sure if I was going to check out the second one or not. The accountant follows Christian Wolf, an autistic math savant who runs the accounts for criminals, in which draws to the attention of the Treasury Department of the FBI. Now, I did enjoy this. I'm going to be honest, it took a little while for it to get going, and I found it quite slow in parts. But once everything starts to pick up, it gets real entertaining. The action is great. Every time we have action, I just want it to keep on coming because it's so exciting. But I found the plot too confusing. There's too many things going on, and which just complicates everything. So you're looking at all the action thinking, damn, this is cool. But either you don't know what's going on, or you've missed quite a bit of it and you're not paying attention enough to the action because you're just trying to figure out what's happening. 3 stars. Then, literally the next day, I went and watched The Accountant 2. Set after the original, The Accountant, the director Raymond King is killed, and Treasury agent Mary Beth Medina has no other option than to ask Christian Wolf, the accountant, to help solve this case. He then contacts his brother Braxton after a long while to help as well, attracting a lot of other bad guys to stop them solving this case. I really enjoyed The Accountant 2. I thought it was quite a bit better than the first one. It had some of the same issues with the first regarding the plot. It was still too unnecessarily complicated, where I was just trying to figure out what was going on, who they were going for. It just was a bit too hard. The action was genuinely top notch in this film. There are some incredible shots and scenes which are so engaging. This one has more humor than the first and is lighter, which was so unexpected for me, but I thought it really, really worked, and I loved that. I didn't expect to like this one as much as I did. 4 stars. 20 years is just absolutely crazy, like genuinely crazy. I love that they re-released this because a lot of people, especially my age, just weren't able to see this in cinemas when it came out. Like, I would have been one, I think, when this came out in cinemas. All I've ever seen is this on physical media or Disney Plus. So to see this in the cinema was such a cool experience. Seeing screenings full for this as well is absolutely unreal. Revenge of the Sith follows Anakin Skywalker's seduction into the dark side of the Force and the collapse of the Republic and the Jedi Order. Now, I think this film is really enjoyable. It's for sure the best of the prequels. No, I know. Not a hard task, but unlike the other two, in my opinion, this one's actually a good film. It's a film where things are constantly happening and going on, a lot of action, which is a whole lot of fun. I'm not the biggest fan of Star Wars. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Star Wars, but I don't keep up much with Star Wars, which is what I mean by when I say I'm not that big of a fan, because I like the films. Well, some of the films. I like some of the films, but I don't keep up with it as much. I haven't seen a TV show apart from Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I didn't like. But I still had excitement to see this. Hopefully next time I watch this, Anakin won't turn. 4 stars. In Havoc, a late night drug deal goes wrong, in which results in Patrick Walker being tasked with the rough task of trying to rescue a politician's estranged son. Here he uncovers a huge wave of corruption in his society and confronts not only a bunch of bad guys and enemies, but also his dark past. Now, I went into this with low expectations. The Netflix logo, the Netflix action thriller, it all just wasn't looking great, but I kind of enjoyed this one. It's a pure action thriller in which the action sequences are so enjoyable that you can't not watch. To me, it's also pretty violent. There's a lot of blood splattering about, which I also found quite enjoyable. If you like that sort of thing, do check this one out. The story is very generic though, and there are quite a few pacing issues. So when you jump back and forth between the action and the exposition, it just becomes a bit of an issue and you start to lose interest. But overall, I enjoyed it. 3.5 stars. Final film I watched this month was A Simple Favor, and I'm not gonna lie, I only watched this film so that I knew what was going on when I watched the second one. A Simple Favor follows Stephanie, who is a widowed mother with a vlog, who becomes friends with the upper class mother Emily because their sons are mates from school. After Emily goes missing, Stephanie begins to investigate herself whilst documenting and updating her findings on the vlog. Now, I don't actually mind films like this where they investigate a missing person or a murder or something like that, and there are a bunch of twists and turns, but my issue with this is that I just didn't care, like, at all. I don't find any of the characters interesting enough to want to follow them. Emily is such a dislikable character. I mean, she does have a really rough past, so I sort of think she's supposed to be, but I just couldn't buy into the fact that they were best friends. They meet like twice and then they're best friends. Like, what? I don't really get it. I didn't really find it that funny either. I know they were going for the comedy mystery vibes. Like, I get it. I just found it really, really cringy. And I don't know if I'm going to watch the second one now that I've seen this one. I mean, I probably will. I probably will review it, but I don't know. I don't know. 2 stars for A Simple Favor. So now into the Blu-rays that I picked up in April. As I said earlier, I'm going to combine March and April for this section. I thought, why not? But also, I didn't pick up too much in April, so this will help just flesh out everything a little bit and just make sure it's like there's actually enough Blu-rays in this section. You know what I mean? So the first pickups that I made in March were Thor: The Dark World, Black Widow, and Eternals. Now, these are casual MCU pickups that I do every so often. These 3 I'm not that much of a fan of, but when it comes to the MCU, DCU, well, the DCEU, but also DC films in general, and animated films, for some reason, I like to own them all, even if I don't really care for them. I only really do this for these ones like this. To me, a Blu-ray collection is very personal. So if you own a film that you don't like, you're never going to watch again. I don't really understand why you'd have it in your collection. But the MCU have these wonderful collectible slipcovers, which you can see here. And I just think they look so good on the shelves. And I'm nearly there with these MCU films now. I'm nearly there. There's a few from Phase 4 that I need to get. I think I need like practically all of Phase 5 as well. And I need to replace my Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame slips because they're just the normal ones they were released with. So I need to replace those ones. But I'm getting there. Next up is Bambi. I have not seen this one. I've heard practically everyone tell me about it, and I've heard everything about it. It feels like I have seen this just through people telling me what's going on. But I haven't seen a lot of films from this era of Disney. When you go from, this is the golden age of Disney, you go from golden to wartime to silver, quite a few of those different ages. I haven't seen quite a lot of these films, so I don't even really have an excuse anymore. Like, it is just poor that I haven't seen quite a lot of these films. Bambi is, of course, included. This is Disney Classic number 5, as it says. I'll just show the spine. Disney Classic number 5 on there. And they have these really, really lovely collectible slips. They're all different colours. You've got, this one is sort of like orangey golden. You've got Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is green. I know The Little Mermaid is like a turquoisey colour. You've got Winnie the Pooh, which is like quite a similar colour to this. Big Hero 6 is red. Actually, I have a pile of these over here. Snow White is blue. Alice in Wonderland is a more lighter blue. It's so nice. Like, all of these, it's so, and so many different colours that you can see on the shelf. It looks like genuinely stunning. And I need to watch Bambi. Like, I've bought this and I still haven't seen it. And I bought it like, well, in March. So that still is really, really poor from me. Do you know what? If I haven't seen this, if this film, if Bambi, isn't in my what I watched in May video, then that is like ridiculously bad, like ridiculously poor from me. The next pickup I had was a film that I actually picked up on its release day, Wicked, on 4K. I had to do it. And on 4K, I had to do it. I loved Wicked. I saw it 5 times in cinema. No, I'm not crazy. I just had people asking me to watch this so many times, and every time I couldn't say no because it's so good. This, along with Doom Part 2, were the biggest films of last year. They were the event films of last year, and I would say that this is bigger than Dune Part 2. It is the biggest film of the year. I mean, I loved the music, the characters, Ariana Grande, the cinematography, the visuals, Cynthia Erivo, Jonathan Bailey. I loved everything about this film. The numbers felt so huge, and I will love to watch this in absolute 4K beauty very soon. And I really cannot wait for For Good. I'm going to be sobbing like no tomorrow, and I'm going to get my mates to come and sob in the cinema with me. So I actually haven't seen this one, but I also picked up The Duchess. This looks like it's right up my street. I saw this on the shelf in CEX, and I was just like, let's go for it. I mean, British period films, just period films in general, I really like because it's just a look back into history. And this one is about Georgiana Cavendish, who is the Duchess of Devonshire, played by Keira Knightley, but also has Ray Fiennes, Charlotte Rampling, Dominic Cooper, and Hayley Atwell. I don't really know anything about her, so yeah, I look forward to watching this one. That was March, now into April with Maria. I saw this in cinema twice and absolutely loved this movie. One of the best of 2024. I think I put it in at third. Like, that's how much I loved this film. I didn't expect to love it because I hadn't seen any of Pablo Larraín's stuff before. And now I'm definitely going to watch Jackie and Spencer because I loved how good this was. Opera is also something I'm not like entirely interested in. Well, not entirely. I'm not interested in opera. But Lorraine and Jolie did such an amazing job in making me care for someone that I'd never heard of before I watched this film. And the Manjak's hallucination stuff was just pulled off so brilliantly as well. Like, I loved this film so much. So I'm very, very happy that I'm able to pick this up on Blu Ray. Next up is 21 and 22 Jump Street. I have never seen these two, which is really odd because I'm a huge fan of immature comedies like these. I feel like when I was younger, me and my mates really should have put these films on, like when I was staying at someone's or if we were having like a sleepover at some point. But I guess we chose other films. I don't really know, which is weird because a lot of my mates have seen these films. It's strange, but I've heard great things. I've heard that they're really funny, so I'll definitely really want to give these a go. I don't know if environment plays a role. Like, do I need to watch these at night? Do I need to watch these with some friends? I'll figure it out, but I look forward to checking these out. I think I will watch these quite soon, and they were very cheap as well. 21 Jump Street, was it? It was £2. 22 was 50p. Does that mean this one's better than this one? If this one was more expensive? I don't know, but we will see. Then picked up The Sound of Music, and I saw it for this price. It was £2.50 from CEX, and I thought, I have to get this. I don't know when a better time would be to pick this film up. I really like this film. I hadn't seen it until not too long ago, which for me, as a fan of film and musicals, is ridiculously poor from me. My family went to Salzburg and we went on the Sound of Music tour, and I thought, I have to watch this. Like, I can't go on a tour and not know what I'm looking at. So I gave this a watch. I can't believe it came to that, but I gave this a watch and I loved it. It's so enjoyable. The music is so good. Julie Andrews is incredible in this film. And for a film which is practically 3 hours long, I really like this one. It felt like half the time to me. And the last pickup for April was Ex Machina. Now, I haven't seen Ex Machina, but again, I saw the price and thought, I've got to go for this. I've had mates telling me great things, people online saying great things. All I've heard are great things. So I thought, I finally got to pick up and watch this one. I mean, this was a really recent pickup, so I haven't seen this one yet, but I like what I've seen from Alex Garland. I haven't seen the 28 Weeks or Days Later films, but I will do, especially with the new one coming along. It's just, they've not been on any streaming service, or the Blu-rays are really hard to find. That watching those films are really hard. But I will get the chance to, and I will watch them before the new one comes out. So I will see them. I enjoyed Men. I enjoyed Civil War. Haven't seen Annihilation, but everything that I've seen of his, I really like, and I think I really will like this one as well, especially with the like sci-fi. I assume it's sci-fi. Ah, testing artificial intelligence. Yeah, it's got to be sci-fi. So with that as well. So that was Ex Machina. So that was what I watched and picked up in April. Well, picked up in March and April. Please let me know what you watched in April. Did you have a good month for watching films? Did you have a great month in picking up films on Blu-ray or 4K or DVD or however you collect film? If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. And I'll see you in the next.